If you watch this podcast, then you should know her. You should love her. We have Alyssa back from Stories and Spoilers podcast. She is always a delight. Today we're talking about Enchantra, which is book 2 by Kaylie Smith. The first one was Phantasma. We did also talk about that book, so be sure to check out that episode, and then you can come back over here. We definitely do some spoiler-free chat in the beginning before we move into spoiler-heavy chat. And you'll realize about halfway through that, um, did Alyssa and I read the same book? We'll never know. As a side note, we are filming this mid-November. I am headed into a deep rest this winter. I might film a few podcast episodes here and there, but this will not be posted until January. So timeline-wise, there might be a few inconsistencies as we talk about things. Welcome to Busy Reading Romantasy, the podcast where we deep dive into some amazing books and talk to the authors that created them. I'm Kaylie, your host, book lover, podcast producer, aiming to have enjoyable conversations that matter. As a reader, we know that romantasy isn't just fairies prancing around having sex all the time. I mean, sometimes it is, and we love that. But it's also about exploring good and evil, power corruption, female empowerment, and so much more. So let's get into it.
I hope people get the reference.
Oh, for sure. They should. I mean, if you've read the book, you surely have. Okay, you were just saying you've chosen today's outfit.
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm wearing the cat from K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's on a pink t-shirt. My best friend got it for me. And they're looking at the little flower pot from K-pop Demon Hunters, because whenever the pot falls, the cat, this big, amazing, wonderful cat, always tries to like put it back up, and they're a little mischievous in a way and like magical. And there is a fox character in Enchantra to me that had the same mischievous magical energy, very like comes out of the shadows, puffs into smoke, may or may not steal your invitation to a spooky enchanted mansion. I feel like this cat would do that.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I thought they kind of went hand in hand.
Right.
So yes, we're talking about Enchantra today, which is so exciting.
There's
Oh
nothing
my
like
gosh.
a pet sidekick. But yes, I've been so excited to talk about this book, especially after our discussion on Phantasma. Yeah, exciting. No words.
We're
Where do we
going back
start?
into the sexy dungeon, friends.
Yes.
Yes, I'm so excited. Also, if you hear sneezing in the background, it's not me. My cat has allergies.
Oh no.
Yeah, so he has allergies and he's old. So that's probably
Yeah.
what you're hearing.
Okay.
But yes, Enchantra is the second book to Phantasma. I heard a rumor the author said that these can be read as standalones. They don't actually have to be read like per the series.
Right.
But it's nice because you get references from Phantasma in
Yes.
Enchantra. But I do think it could kind of stand on its own. Like if you didn't read Phantasma, you can read Enchantra. Do you agree?
I do agree. I think having read both, it makes sense. If you hadn't, I still think she gives enough context, which is also really nice as a reader when there's a bit of a gap. I mean, there wasn't too much of a gap between reading the two for me. Um, but if it had been like, waiting a year for the next book to come out, she did a great job of kind of retouching up on some of the points in the family history and why things were the way they were. But that being said, the bulk of the book, I would say like 95% of it, had no reference to other things.
I agree. For folks who are like diving into this episode because you see the gorgeous host of Busy Reading Romantasy, and you're just like, I want to hear all the things that she has to say about this sexy fantasy game in hell. Not to be mistaken with book 1. They are very different. Ooh, I'm not trying to spill the tea, but
I
they're very
agree.
different.
I agree.
They're very different. But I wanted to read the description from Goodreads for folks who may not be familiar with like the non-spoiler version of it.
Absolutely.
Cool. So this is directly from Goodreads. Ready or Not meets Throne of the Fallen in a spicy enemies to lovers fantasy romance where an Italian getaway turns deadly after a young woman is trapped in her host family's cursed game. Okay, ready or not, the game has begun. Guinevere Grimm has felt adrift ever since her sister became head of the family. So when a mysterious friend of her mother's invites her to Italy, she accepts. She arrives at his grand palace, expecting passion and magic, decadence and luxury, perhaps even a midnight ball. She doesn't expect the owner's ruthlessly handsome son to slam the door in her face. I'm sorry. The morally gray, you always know who the love interest is gonna be because he's the first one to tell her like "f off."
Get out of
It's
here.
always the same guy, but whatever. Rowan Silver is tall, dark, and exceptionally rude. At an invitation or not, he demands Guinevere leave and never come back. But when Guinevere follows nobody's orders, especially those of the arrogant rich boys, she slips inside and immediately discovers her mistake. Rowan and his family are caught in a insidious game of hide and seek where only one can win. The rest will be trapped in hell until the competition begins again. Guinevere must either join the hunt or forfeit any hope of escaping. But to her dismay, her best chance of survival lies with Rowan, since lovers may play as a pair. Rowan and Guinevere agree to form an alliance under the gauze of a fake courtship. However, as they race through the game's elaborate labyrinth, trapped among gleaming gold and shining marble, their loathe gives way to an irresistible attraction. Only Rowan is keeping secrets, especially when it comes to its ruthless family. Yeah, and Guinevere can't help but wonder if she's trapped in two treacherous games, Enchantra and the one Rowan is playing with her heart. This was published April 8th of this year, and it's 448 pages. The audiobook was 11 hours and 57 minutes, and this is part of the Wicked Game series.
Let me tell you, Alyssa is the best guest ever to have on a podcast. I don't even need to do my job. I just sit back and she's like, let me tell you everything you need to know about this book.
That is very kind. I personally, for me, there are many times that I listen to podcasts about books that either I really want to read,
Mhm.
I just don't have time or they're fucking massive, or I just really like the people who are talking about them. So I
Yeah.
want to know like a non-spoiler version in the beginning, and then I can
Yeah,
pause it and be like, okay, fuck it. Actually, I will read this, and then I'll come back to the episode and then listen when I've
absolutely.
read it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, I'm not actually gonna read that. And I listened to the entire
Fair.
episode and I just
Yeah.
enjoy the people.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah. I
Okay.
This book has a lot going on. It has mirror sexy scenes, and I did make notations of every chapter with a spicy moment because I
Mm-mm.
love you. And I know you all are horn dogs, just like me. So I'm sitting here and I'm like,
Perfect.
I made a note, damn it. And also, there's 7 siblings in this book. So this book is like, if you like characters, get fucking ready because the siblings' names are like as as
Hilarious.
as intense as you can get. Like one sibling is really named Grave.
Well,
7.
so they all have their full name and then they have their nickname. So it's Remington, Rowington, Wellington, Ellington, Gravington, Sevington, Ellington. No, I already said that one. And then they all have the short versions. I will
Yes.
say, as someone who is generally pretty clueless when it comes to characters, like I could be halfway in a book and I'm like, who? What? I will say, I think Kaylie does a fantastic job at differentiating the characters because we originally meet at first we meet Ellen and Seven, and then from
Yeah,
there it starts to sprinkle in. And I think I did have a really clear picture of each of the siblings, which is not always common when I read books.
I agree. I imagined Ellen because she was supposed to be like this willowy, like white haired, like almost in my mind, like a ghostly like entity. But she was a sibling, but she was very much giving like fairy, like dark fairy energy. I
Yeah.
imagined her as Elle Fanning um
Oh,
from Breaking
yes.
Dawn
Yeah.
specifically. That's how I
Yeah.
imagined her. And 7 to me was giving Alex Pettifier from I Am Number 4. That was what I
Oh,
was imagining.
okay. Yep.
Yeah, I'm a very like visual reader. So when I imagined Rowan, he had to be this like I imagined him as like a brunette, like dark features, like handsome, but like I really don't want to be looked at right now. Like I really don't have the time. I have other things I need to
Mhm.
do. And
Mhm.
I don't know why, but I kept coming back to like a young Oscar Isaac.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't help myself. I think that man's fine as hell, old. I think he's fine
Yeah.
as hell, like young. Like
I did like the distinguishing. I don't, again, I also completely will ignore character descriptions. So when you said that about Ellen, I was like, oh.
I'll do what I gotta do in
But
my mind.
the distinguishing feature of Rowan was that he also had a lip piercing. I was into that.
I heard it and I was like, oh, okay. I wanted him to be like edgy and like
Yes. Yeah.
sexy, but like also like he
Mhm.
could. I don't know. I wanted to know like he could. It's gonna sound weird, but I wanted him to be like timelessly handsome.
Mhm.
So that's why I just kept
That
going
makes
back to
sense.
Oscar Isaac. I think he's just timelessly good looking. Like put
Yeah,
him in any
yeah,
time period,
yeah.
and
I
that man
also
eats.
Yes, I also think it was interesting that, like, Rowan is the main love interest, and we
Yeah,
always get that, like, morally gray bad boy energy, and then we also had Grave and Coven, that was the other one, Covington. Um, those 2 who, in my mind, were, like, worse, probably closer to, like, I don't know, like morally black, but like they seemed more intense. Like Rowan was like handsome bad boy MMC energy, and
right.
then Grave and Coven were like, okay, that's just a lot.
I would have taken Rowan. I could have gone with or without. He wasn't my
Okay.
favorite MMC.
Oh, okay.
In comparison to the MMC from Phantasma,
Yes.
it was a
No,
little
I
tough.
agree.
It
I
was a little
agree.
tough.
Yeah.
Also, Rowan's supposed to be like a shadow daddy in some ways, and to me, it wasn't as apparent as in
Yeah.
Phantasma. Like,
Mhm.
also, like I was more interested in the devil character because obviously
Oh,
Phantasma
yeah.
we have the love interest being there, but in this one, I was like, oh, the whole mirror stuff where like she would look in the mirror at herself and it would be like him in her skin, like smiling at her.
Mhm.
I know it's creepy, but I was low key like, ooh, like
Yeah.
I like that he kind of like fucks with her head. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is really bad. I was like, this is really bad. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I low
Yeah.
key want like all of the sweet moments that she had with Rowan to have been with the devil. Like, and
Yeah.
like all the sweet, soft parts of him were the devil, and all the harsh, shitty parts were really Rowan.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would have been kind of cool. Like the guy she thought she was falling for was actually the guy who wanted to like keep her in the game. Like, don't leave. Like the whole line where it's
Oh.
like, you poisoned me. Yes. You lied to me. Yes. You said you love me. I do. I wanted that energy.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, like I got Rowan and his
Yeah.
little Claire's lip piercing. I was like, oh, I want
Not
it
glares.
darker. Yeah. I want him darker. Like I
Oh.
want Ben Barnes, the Darkling. Like I want
Yeah.
darker.
He was like Spirit Halloween bad boy energy. Like he looked it, but he didn't feel it. The whole time I was like, yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
I
But
feel
not
six,
like,
seven. I feel that's how you feel. That's how I feel. Like, how would you rate this book? Like, it was.
yeah.
I wanted him to be like truly like there is no light.
Right,
I said this in
right.
Phantasma, and I'm
Yeah.
saying it now. Like,
Yeah.
I need you to
Yeah.
make it a little darker. I love you,
Right.
girl. Come on. I think she's a little scared, and I need her to go as dark as possible. Like,
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so like getting
yeah,
into more spoiler talk territory, we
yes.
tiptoed around some things there. You got a great idea, but like fully jumping in right now,
Let's do it.
my bottom line, my main thoughts were I liked it. I don't think it was as good as Phantasma. I try not to compare, but I think comparison is inevitable. I liked the game. I really liked how within the game you got to pick a different game each night. Like I thought that was a really fun fact, and we can circle back to all of these in depth, but just kind of like overlying. I liked the concept of like the demons watching and betting and stuff like that. And the like themed rooms. I thought that was great. I think the love interest didn't hold as much tension for me. I wasn't like gripped and consumed by it like I have in other books, like I was in Phantasma. Phantasma was a book that I pulled like for me to do the work of actually sitting and pulling quotes the way I did. Like that was a good book. Because I don't normally do that. Um, so yeah, the whole development of the love interest, it was good. I don't think I could touch on what was like missing for me. Um, and I didn't feel like the stakes were that high. Like I never, because we kind of got in this pattern where like Ellen was healing her every night, and so I was like, oh, she's okay. Oh, she's okay. Oh, she's okay. Like it kind of took down some of the tension. That being said, towards the end, the way they finally solved it the way they do, I was happy with that. I was very proud of that. I was like, oh, I see. So that made it fun. But it was kind of some ups and downs throughout the story for me.
I agree. I like when I break down the story by trope in my mind, like
Mm-hmm.
what Phantasma is in like bullet points,
Yeah.
it is distinguished quite a bit from Phantasma.
Mm-hmm.
The game part, yes, similar, but to me, like where Phantasma felt more like a gothic Hunger Games of sorts, this felt
Mm-hmm.
more like Phantom of the Opera. Who can you trust?
Yes. Yeah.
Masquerades, feeling trapped in some ways, like very dramatic, like everyone's low-key acting like to get what they want. It
Mm-hmm.
definitely felt more like Phantom of the Opera in tone to me.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that part. I did. So the deadly hide and seek I enjoyed. I liked that she was plus size. I really appreciated that. That distinguished a little bit of the female main characters from the books, to be honest. I would have liked some form of like, I don't know, like as I was reading it, I did want a little bit more from Rowan. I wanted to understand really like he's been in the game, he's been part of this family. It would have been nice to get like a perspective in his mind, like when he slammed the door in her face and like what he was feeling at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That would have given me a little more perspective. But I think it makes sense, like we're in her mind. But in my head, I was like, it would have kind of helped me connect a little bit more. Even a perspective from Ellen in a chapter,
Mm-hmm.
like when she's healing her, if their minds somehow connected, that would make
Mm-hmm.
sense. Like
Yeah.
that'd be kind of interesting, like the cost of healing someone.
Mm-hmm.
But the sexy tension was amazing. The games are afoot. That's how I constantly felt. The pacing of like Sherlock Holmes is the same
Right.
pacing I felt in this. It felt like it flew by.
Yes.
Um, so Genevieve is the little sister of the main character from Phantasma. I
Mm-hmm.
liked how that concept where she just wanted to know more about her parents. She wanted to know more about her family, finding the invitation in her mom's things that her mom who had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
That connection of like grief and lineage and legacy and like knowing your parents and how that connects to how you know in some ways yourself. I
Mm-hmm.
liked how that was a key part of who she was. Like she has this
Right.
power, yeah, but like understanding like who she is outside of her sister
Mm-hmm.
and like the shadow of her sister,
Mm-hmm.
it was an interesting idea, like to me, like the concept like she was on this voice, she would give anything to know.
Right.
She stumbled into Phantasma and now she's stumbling into this, and it's like I wonder, there must be a cost. I wanted there to be like a repercussion
Mm-hmm.
for this constant state of like throughout the book, she asks lots of questions and she also is sometimes putting herself in danger just to get something, which
Mm-hmm.
is why she's always being fucking healed because she's
Mm-hmm.
always like throwing herself in danger to get something and
Mm-hmm.
not really keeping in mind like how this affects her in the long run.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked how the male love interest balanced it out. Like he was begging his sister to heal her at multiple points, which
Mm-hmm.
spoiler alert, when he when they have the marriage of convenience in this book, she has a ring and I think it gets hot when there's danger
Yeah.
nearby
Yeah. Which became
and their
very handy.
lifelines are like connected to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So like if she dies, he dies, vice
Mm-hmm.
versa. So I
Mm-hmm.
get why he was having her healed logically because like if she dies, he dies. But in
Right.
the back of my head, I was like, is part of him a little concerned that she's well aware their lives are connected and she's still like endangering herself? Like, I don't give a
Right.
fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that was the only thing where I would have loved a little conversation. Like, hey, you're really like, I get it. If we lose, we're in hell.
Mm-hmm.
But you're
Mm-hmm.
really like balls to the wall. Like, I'm willing to lose whatever
Mm-hmm.
for answers and to just escape rather than thinking smart. Like, she was very
Mm-hmm.
impulsive to me.
Yeah, I think that ties in well with her backstory on her relationship where her life was centered around Ophelia and everything was Ophelia, Ophelia, the older sister. I get that. I think like the real emotional tie I had to her because I don't necessarily I guess identify with such like reckless behavior. I will say I do like her banter, the way she was,
Mm.
speaking up to the head demon. Um, when we get more of her backstory and how she was literally lit on fire, I felt for her in that moment, and to like have gone through that with someone you loved and for it to turn out that way, I think that was a pivotal moment of her sharing that and like part of her journey.
I'm sure I sound like I am bashing her till like the 11th minute, like
No,
let
no,
her get
no.
up. No,
No,
but
I get it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
but
I
no, I
totally
guess
get
because
it.
I related to more of Ophelia and Phantasma because what she was
Mhm.
experiencing with mental health and also like the
Yeah, and
overthinking,
the pressure
the
of
pressure. As
yeah.
an
No,
older
I totally
sister,
get
I
that.
definitely was an Ophelia girl.
Yeah, yeah,
But like
yeah.
I think while reading this book, I just could not like I don't know. I think I was just having a hard time like connecting to her.
Yeah.
I was more so enchanted by like just the first few chapters with like her on the train and this whole
Mhm.
thing with like this voyage and like it just something
Yeah,
about like when she finally gets to the gates of Enchantra and she eats the berries, there was nothing there. And then like the shimmer and it begins to appear and the fox
yeah,
Umbra who
yeah.
I didn't know this. Umbra means shadow in Latin.
Mhm.
And Umbra the fox like steals the invitation and I just like
Yeah.
I think I was so in love with the side characters that it made
Mhm.
it hard to love the main characters because I was so
Yeah,
enchanted
yeah.
by everyone else.
Yeah, and I really do think, like, the fact that Ellen healed her the first nights, it set the tone of, like, after that, I was like, everything's gonna be okay. I wasn't like genuinely worried and being like, how are
Mhm.
they gonna solve this? I was like, it's gonna be fine. There's not like, I didn't feel caught off guard at any point. How
Yeah,
they solved it surprised me, but I wasn't surprised that they solved it and we had a happy ending, the way that we did.
I agree. I made a I made notes about the book as I was going. Um, so Guinevere is being followed by crows around Rome. She also found a letter in her deceased mom's items that is definitely cursed and it was meant for her mom. And it expresses that she needs to check out Enchantra in a state before the spring equinox. My girl said, I don't give a fuck. She goes
She said,
and
I'll get there when I get there.
I'm gonna get there when I get there. Before I don't. She did
Yeah.
not read the fine print. She shows up not before but during
Mhm.
and she goes in her mom's place because the invitation was actually not for her, it was for her mom. And I mentioned like how she gets there, the dark gate, eating the berries, num num num, we're in a recession, I love some free fruit. And as she gets in there, the enchantment, oh, and she sees this beautiful amazing house and the gates shadowy and the enchanter above the gates. Rowan slams the door in her face, she's like, fuck you, I'm still going in. She's hearing
Mhm.
about the hunt. Everyone is like, damn, this girl should be dead. Like she's human. She should be dead. She's not
Yeah.
dead. Um,
I did like the
yeah.
stipulation that you couldn't have magic either while you were playing, because I think that did make it too easy in her case where she could just go through walls and disappear. So like that had to be a rule to make it like a legit game.
Yes, because we know that she has magic going in as, like I said, this could be read
Mhm.
as a standalone, but you know she's
Yeah.
got magic coming in.
Yeah.
She can hold her own. She's not necessarily asking Rowan's permit. Oh, can I take part? Fuck that. She's
Mhm.
already in the house. So now she's like, she didn't come before, she came
Mhm.
during. So the hunt is going on. The games are going on.
Mhm.
Um, and long story short, I never said who I imagined as like the man of the house, as
Yeah.
Knox.
Uh-huh.
But I imagined Alex Skarsgård from True Blood.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
had to make a statement. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose a
Mhm.
Skarsgård. I'm gonna choose the baddest bitch that I got. So I grabbed him.
Okay.
My 6'13". I'm sure he's not that tall, but my 6'13" blonde daddy. I
I
don't
love
love
a
blondes,
613.
but I
Yeah.
love a 6'13" blonde daddy. Okay.
Yeah.
I do not know if he's that tall.
For
Dear God.
Skarsgård, I'll
But
take a blonde for sure.
for a Skarsgård, I'll never have to work again. Me, I'm not a materialistic woman. Also me, I'm a lesbian. I'll never have to work again. I guess we're getting married. We're gonna have dinner and we're gonna sleep in separate rooms and it's gonna be great. So long story short,
Beautiful marriage.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be the most wholesome lavender marriage you've ever seen. So
Yeah.
yes. So my handsome, sexy Skarsgård comes down, and long story short, my girl's alive in the building. Everyone's like, damn, she alive. She's like, I'm alive, motherfucker. So she comes
Yeah.
in, like the hunt is going on. And then she's like, what do you mean? They're like, the estate is cursed. It's owned by a devil named Knox, who is Alexander Skarsgård. And the family game night is actually 7 siblings who are going to kill each other for a spot. And the winner gets 1 year of freedom, and everyone else goes to the underworld, which is like a really crowded like club that never ends. And then Guinevere's like, damn, I'm human. And then if any of the siblings marry, they can complete with their love, like with their boo, their companion. If they win, they do not have to go into the hunt again, and they are free, but only if you are married.
Right.
My girl's single as a Pringle, so we got problems. She panics. She runs to the bathroom, and she looks in the mirror, and she's got purple eyes. Ooh, what in the Hot Topic? And she convinces herself, like, oh my God, like, who is this? And it's Alexander Skarsgård. It's not.
What? He's in
He
the
grabs her shit.
mirrors.
He yanks her edges. He throws her into the mirror.
Come on
Whoa. And
in. Let's party.
it's a dark, like it's like the upside down of Enchantra, you know, Stranger Things. Like it's upside
Yeah.
down, motherfucker. There's spores. The siblings are all evil and trying to fuck her up. It's violent.
Yeah.
She escapes the
A
shadow
nice
version
little
of this
taste
world.
of
Yeah, she gets a little
what's to
taste of
come.
this bad world. And Knox is like, come back, Betty. She runs away. Rowan finds her, and he's annoyed. He's not compassionate, like, oh, you're
Right.
scared, baby girl. You lost it again. No,
Oh.
he's not like that. He's straight up like, yeah, so you're gonna have to go back in there. Like there is no escape. She tries to grab the gate. Her hands are bubbling and popping like a chicken
Bone
on
black.
Thanksgiving. It's bad, bro. It's really bad. He throws her. He's like, we got to go back in. And Rowan, eventually, they get married. He gives her this fucking ring. He's like, it'll get hot when you're in danger. And it's always fucking hot. She's
It's
always in
always. Yeah.
danger.
To the point where she would forget about it and be like, all of a sudden my finger was burning. I was like, you're in danger.
You're always in danger, girl. Always. Then after the marriage, she like passes the fuck out, wakes up. Oh my God, I'm in a bustier and a bedazzled gown. The fuck? And then they're like, you got a masquerade, girl. You got a masquerade. And she wakes up and her husband's, you're useful. You're useful.
Um, during the party, I love, and I love a lust potion. And they're like, no, and he's like, I have to get away. And she's like, no. And he's like, yeah.
It was
And I was
a
like,
lot.
no.
Yes, they give her a mask. She
Yeah.
is was it a fawn? I thought it was like a rabbit.
Oh, yeah, because
A hare. She was a
she was
hare.
a hare and he was a fox, and she's like very appropriate, like being hunted.
We love a little bit of a prey. So I was sitting here
Yeah,
and I was like, okay,
yeah.
girl, run consensually, run. So they're dancing, things are happening, and long story short, she bumps into the Barrington, and that's the guy who sent the invitation originally to her mom, and he's looking at her with his sad, handsome eyes, and you're like, damn, what are you doing? And he's like, me and your mom used to be like this. We used to be close. We used to be feeling all sorts of
Right.
feelings in my pectorals. And she's like, whoa. And she shows him a picture of her mom. This is
Yeah.
fucked up. He shows her a
And they
picture of
don't
her
even know
mom.
that that she is not alive.
He doesn't know her mom's no longer with us. So
Right.
he's like, oh, like, why isn't she here?
How is
What's
she
going on?
doing, old chap?
How is she doing? And we know she's not here. Like she's deceased,
Mhm.
unfortunately. And then he sees the soul locket necklace and it's all sentimental and it's all sad as it hits him.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was ever clarified. I don't remember if they were like together in a romantic sense, but I do know that they had like a close
Yeah.
relationship.
It felt like it, but I don't think it was specified, like, just kind of this longing and fondness, and then she just ended up with this other guy,
I
and
guess we'll never
unfortunately,
know.
that was that, yeah.
I guess we'll never
As
know.
happens in real life. Talk
As
about some
it
yearning.
happens. We love yearning. Personally, I'm deeply impatient. So,
Yeah. Feel like we gotta
no,
move
I'm
on.
gonna end up with the right one. The fuck? Mm-mm. The one who
Same.
got away. You can't get away from
Mm-mm.
fate. You can't get away from me. So
No, no,
what?
no.
Where do you think you're going? So we need an unhinged character in this story to mix this shit up. And maybe that
Right.
needs to be Umbra the Fox. Moving
Right.
on. We're under challenge number 1.
Mm-hmm.
The games are afoot. Challenge
Yeah.
number 1, where you hide in rooms and you have to survive. They wait in the most obvious fucking room. Rowan's room. Why would you go there? So they go to Rowan's room. They pay
Okay.
two truths and a lie. Someone is
Mm-hmm.
already dead. Guinevere has been stabbed. And this is what you were mentioning, where Ellen gets healed on
Mm-hmm.
night 1. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, so this is actually not true. This is not like death. Like, you're not going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Also, her magic doesn't work. So, like, she can't be walking through walls. Like, she's not useless, but like
Right.
her magic doesn't work. So, like, she's on the same like kind of level as everyone else in the situation. She doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have that like advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Is there anything you want to add up to this point? Because I hopped right into round 2.
No, no, no. I liked it. I was trying to see where in my notes. I don't think I distinguished it, but again, just saying like the games that they had set up, I would love a list of all of the game options that were available because like Rowan took the time to try to explain to her in the beginning, but like she was not ready to hear all of that. And I was like, wait, I want to know, what are
This
the
is helpful,
games? What
girl.
are the strategies? He's like, certain siblings prefer certain games. So what happens is this like knife chooses who gets to choose the game. And that does make an impact on how things are played. So like, was it the night one where they had to change rooms every
I
couple of
read this like
hours or
3
something?
months ago.
That's fair. That's okay.
I feel
Okay, so
so
I think
bad for it.
no, no, no. I do think it was one of the first ones that they like had to change rooms every 4
Mm-hmm.
hours because they actually go into Graves' room, I believe, through the like secret passage. They end up
Yes.
in like a library secret room. I also want to say I do think it's interesting, and I would have loved maybe like a multi POV, which is something that Old Maid would have never said.
Oh.
Um, to get into the siblings and their
Mm-hmm.
mindset. They have to play this game where they have to hunt each other down and stab them and like cause all of this. So, like, even when skipping ahead, when we get to Seven's turn to play, and he's like, this, I would consider one of her friends. And then all of a sudden he's chasing after her, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a crazy game. But like, they do it, and they're expected, that's another piece, they're expected to perform and like ham it up and all of that. um but there was another game which was like random starts where they
Mm-hmm.
all get teleported to a random room. And then there was another one like ready or not, which just like started right away. And like, so I
Yeah.
do, again, just saying that I really liked that. That was fun for me, the different games.
One of my favorite things was their own personal hell. Like, that was one of my favorite like
Mhm,
situations. It reminded me a lot of American Horror Story, where like everyone was in their personal hell, but it was like
mhm,
oddly darkly funny. This was not that at all. Like, I don't want to. Actually, it's round 3.
mhm,
So I'll quickly go to round 2. But round 3 was the one that had me like, oh, I have to think about what situation I would be in,
mhm,
and like, I guess how can you comfort someone who's literally had to experience like one of their worst fears, like worst scenarios. This book kind of got me thinking about that. So I was like, ooh, enemies to lovers, and then back again, somewhat.
mhm,
So I'm like, I like the way this was written.
mhm.
Round 2, Guinevere runs into Rowan, but it's Remy. Um,
I loved that. Okay, so he also had a twin, And the way that that played into the game, again, I just love as a reader, I love when I get surprised. If I can
Mm-hmm.
guess it, I'm like, boo. That one, I was like, wait, what?
That was really, really good. She runs into who she think is this, like, he's getting snarkier and not in a
Mhm.
mean way. Like, this is just kind of more how he is, and I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So there's a stream and it hides a puzzle, and Rowan
Mhm.
cracks the code, but she ends up like fucking herself up and getting really, really hurt. And then once again, he asks Ellen to heal her, and then he gives her the thing they found in the puzzle, the crack ring.
Yeah, which gives you immunity for the next round.
Yes, and then the this guy, it was, oh, and then I'm gonna know. I said, this guy turns 22 in a fucking hellscape. Her birthday is during the situation.
Yep.
So she celebrates her birthday, meanwhile, still playing this game.
Mhm. That was really weird. Like, I know they talk about how their customs are odd for birthdays, like, they all take a turn stabbing Barrington in the back, and, like but then when he explained it, I was like, "Oh, that makes sense," because he was like, well, he's the reason they're all stuck in there,
True.
which, like, plays into the bigger story too, the backstory of, like, their mom is really sick, and, they're trying to find a cure, and, again, just, like, making a deal with the devil never goes right, so Barrington thought it was, like, a one-year thing, and it's just gone on for way too long, so again,
Oh
I think
man.
an interesting dynamic of how the, like, love and the family dynamics get really twisted when you're expected to play an annual game where you all have to murder each other.
100%. And like
Yeah.
I can't imagine like the way they look at each other because they remember.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's insane.
Yeah.
We're on to round 3, which is the situation that I was most like, it just got me really scared. Like it was giving that dark, a very dark energy in the situation. And this was solitary confinement, and they are
Mhm.
locked in their own hell or nightmare. And she sees a library, and the books scream, and the walls begin to slowly close in. I'm really afraid of small spaces. So
Mm,
this, I love libraries. It's a space of safety. In this situation, I had never read about it being situated in such a form, like a really
mhm.
confining, scary, small form. Um, and then the walls say like, "Don't trust Rowan." And then my girl is like under a lot of stress and fear, and she gets her power back like temporarily. Which, that the worse the house gets, the
Yeah.
stronger her like abilities are becoming. They're breaking through this shit, which is like
Uh,
metaphors,
yeah. I will be honest,
metaphors.
I don't remember that.
No, do you?
I mean, okay, so to be fair, I read the whole book in, like, 2 days when I was, like,
Okay.
stuck I was, like, traveling a lot, so it was a lot of on the plane. You said that, and my brain was like, "Huh?"
I'm
I
sitting
just
here and I'm
know
like, be aware. I wrote these notes in like the middle of the night when I did finish the book. I was like,
yeah.
and then yeah. And I was
And
like,
I was getting really into it, so all of a sudden, like, 5 chapters had gone by, and I was like, "Oh, shit, let me take some notes."
and that's the crazy part about podcasting is that like you try to make notes like if you want to do like a deep dive, but some books like if you haven't read it in
It's
a
so
long time, your
hard.
brain is like,
Yeah.
did I make
Yeah.
this up?
Right, right. If the book
No.
is too good, I'll just my notes just, like, disappear, and I'm like, "What
And this is where
happened?"
it gets vague. But
Right,
yeah,
okay, okay, but
yes.
carry on.
And then she finds Rowan in his fucking room, and he starts talking about his mom. And there's a lot of sadness,
Mhm,
and they get closer. There's no one around. There's no reason for them to pretend, and they do end
mhm,
up kissing, and it's a very like sweet moment.
mhm,
There is definitely heat, but like there's more of like a, I'm beginning to care about you, and you're actually
mhm,
a somewhat human person. So yeah, let's go.
mhm,
And then Rowan confesses to her that he's dying, and Knox is draining the life out of him. Skarsgård is literally with his sexy jawline and his beautiful icy eyes that are
mhm,
as warm as a fucking IKEA.
mhm,
He's draining the life out of Rowan, and the ring she has is slowing the process down, but it's still happening.
mm,
That's heartbreaking. And then um vampire slash devil, they make a deal with Guinevere, and they're like, Ayo, we'll give you your mom back, but Rowan has to die. At this point, she's invested a lot of emotion and trauma bonding and kissing and mirrors and sexy moments and tension with this man who has the emotional complexity of a cardboard box. And she is really, really feeling him. And she wants her mom back and she hesitates. She's like, my mom or this sexy cardboard box. And she's like, I'm choosing this man. It's much more complex than that. But she's like, I'm choosing Rowan and his piercing. Right. And she releases her power. Boom! And then she I feel like I sound like Jack Black. Skadoosh! she releases her power. And then she unravels Enchantra. This shit is falling down the curtain. She's unraveling everything. She wakes up in a hospital, telenovela style. She wakes up and the nurse is like, hello, sweetheart. We found you in the woods and you had no ID. And you're like, oh shit. And she has no fucking memories and shit. And she's still got the ring on. She's like, what the fuck? And it warms up when she's like lying. This sounds crazy. I need you to stay with me. So long story short, she released her power. And this shit blew up. My girl passes out, as every female main character does under deep, deep, deep stress and trauma. And she wakes up in a hospital. And she doesn't remember anything.
Okay, wait. Pause. Because this is the book Alyssa read. If you'd like to know the book that I read.
I'm like, I can't help you.
Rewind.
Again. And
so
she
anyways, what I have.
Oh no.
The more you kept talking, the more I'm like
what? I'm like,
sure,
yeah.
Thing.
I remember I got my copy at oh my god, it was a grocery store. What the hell? Costco. I got mine at Costco or something. And I remember I was reading through it. I was like, fuck, this is crazy.
Okay, I trust that you read the book. I have solitary confinement, like you have to go and stay in one room the whole time. And so they go to one of the enchanted rooms, which has all these trees and stuff. And that's where Seven barges in. And she ends up jumping through a mirror and she faces herself. And that gets all like sick and twisted. Ew. And she the immunity token is like inside her chest or something. And so she like grabs it from like not her, and she slashes her. So she does like get permanent damage, but she gets like the immunity token yet again, so they don't have to play the next night. And that's where Ellen voluntarily gives up, because we're getting to like this end game situation, because Knox decides, hey, we're changing the rules. I'm not just going to let you guys go. I'm not going to risk this. Absolutely not. So he tries to get the Silvers to turn against her and get her, give her over to me, because he is trying to get. This is where Phantasma comes into play. Ophelia's boyfriend, Salem, that demon. He's like the demon prince. Demon King wants his son back. And Salem's like, no. So he thinks if he can get Genevieve, then like he has a bargaining token. So Knox is trying to get her. Anyways, she gets to like pick a treasure from the trove. There's a whole bunch of stuff is happening at this point. It all speeds up super fast. So essentially they kill her, but her soul goes in the locket. And then so she wakes up outside of Enchantra with no memory.
Explosion.
So yes, pick back up there. She woke up in a hospital.
Me. It's like
Spark home.
Spark Notes on crack. Anyway, so I was like, yeah. So there's an explosion. Meanwhile, her soul goes into the locket. Me, explosion.
It was like the more you kept going, I was like, huh.
She does wake up in the woods. We're both like talking about Enchantra. there are two paths you can take. She took an
There,
explosion, her soul goes into the locket.
we definitely both read between the lines in our own way there. Yeah.
I definitely, be aware, I was making notes as I read, so I tried to summarize, like, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, fuck.
That doesn't always work with like long-term plot lines because you're getting different pieces of information at
True.
different times. So it's not until after all that happens where you're like, oh,
Facts. So she wakes up in the woods. I'm
at
imagining
her
this like
house.
twilight. Yeah, like new moon. Like my girl's waking up in the woods. Memory fucked.
Right.
Ring
It,
still
yeah,
on her hand. And she remembers like parts.
doesn't have a ring because
There's
he
no
gives it
ring?
back to
I
her.
swear to God, I thought she had the ring.
She runs into him like a month later. She doesn't know who she is, but she like does a double take and she's like, huh. And he's like, oh, is
I'm
this yours?
telling you.
Dropped it. And she's like,
Ah,
actually. And then when she puts it on, boom, all the memories come back and they're madly in love
fuck.
again.
I do not me. I block out men to
She
such an
wakes up in the woods
extent.
with the ring. She wakes up in the bedroom with no ring.
I wake up and I'm like, Lord of the Rings. She has the
I
ring.
love I love your version though, and I know we've talked about writing a book together, and I think we need to come back to that at some point.
We have to go back to this at some point. In
This,
my version, I feel
yeah,
so nerdy.
which is
In
more
my
fun.
version, it was like a I guess it's like
Things
a
were
fan fiction.
exploding, and
Yes, in my version, she wakes up. She does not remember shit, and shit, and then she remembers. Oh my god, she remembers the house appearing like out of nowhere. She remembers a boy with cold hands or whatever. She remembers like parts of Rowan, but not Rowan entirely. And then she goes to therapy, and she's like, "Damn, like I've been through a lot." And then and then one day she's in the bathroom and she's like washing her face, and then in the mirror she sees herself, but herself is smiling, and she's like, oh, this is not really over. And then the book ends.
I love
That's how
this.
I remember. That's the last note I have.
No.
I'm fighting for my life. I was thinking, I haven't read this book in
Um,
months. I was reviewing my notes
interesting.
and I was like, well, this sounds like well, this sounds like it was a very interesting journey. Thank you, past self. So
Alyssa read a book.
I read something. I remember the cover was purple
Yeah.
and it had the same aesthetic as Phantasma.
Yeah.
I remember liking it a lot, equally
Yeah.
to Phantasma.
Yeah.
You can't have treats, Nine. He's got kidney issues. Nana, you cannot. But yes,
Yeah.
that is what I
There we
can
go.
recall.
I mean, we've made it to the end. I will say the one thing that I want to go back to that I forgot as we were like trying to keep the wheels on the track there. When they finally get intimate, I feel like the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and he uses his like shadow magic. I think because so I'm reading Onyx Storm right now. I know I'm like way behind the curve on that one.
Okay.
It is what it is. And also exactly what everyone said when it came out, where I'm like, who are all these people? Where did they come from?
That's how I feel with this story.
Are we in the era of like shadow sex? I'm not
Yeah.
mad at it. I'm just like, this feels
Yes.
a little different. It's
I
different.
will say we are in the era of monster romances in any form, be
I,
it dragon riders,
yeah,
shadows, like tentacles. We are
I
in the
think
era of like monster.
right. I'm all good with monster stuff. I think maybe just so peculiar to me to read two books literally back to back with similar shadow situations when I had never read that before. Um, so again, I feel like because I'm such like a physical person, I get it. I get the allure, but like smother me. Be like I want the physical. Something about like the shadows or caressing me. I'm like, I need to see it to believe it. Let me experience it, and then maybe I'll like revise my answer.
Speaking
But
of demonic,
Yeah.
shadowy entities,
Yeah.
I missed you. And I may or may not have grabbed a book that you've mentioned a million times.
Yes.
Personal take, I finally got it. So
I'm
I
so
am
excited
reading
for it
it.
too. Oh, yay.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I am
Yes.
reading it. So I want to let you know I did not forget you. I remember you
Amazing.
mentioned this. So I did
Oh,
get a copy.
I'm so happy. Have a
Speaking
great
of
journey.
devils and demons and
Yes.
sexiness.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
I
excited
love
to
it.
read this. Leon, I'm going to give it a try.
I
But
love the demons.
yes, we do
I
get the
yes.
Leon, the demon. Yes, I'm excited to read this book. I'm going to follow you into the sexy darkness in the situation. I'm going in completely blind, and
Thank you.
I'm okay with that. I want to know why you love the series so much.
Perfect. Please text me the updates. Each book
I
has a
shall.
distinctly different flavor.
I'm gonna message you. And then they fell into the woods. You what woods?
What? What woods? She
What
woke
are
up
you
and she
reading?
exploded.
Yes, I'm reading the Five Below version of the book you read. Like, I got mine on sale, and I don't know what the fuck I read, but it was not. I live in Miami, may I add. So if I get something on discount, I don't really question it. So in this situation,
That
I
is what
got
it is.
Enchantra 50% off, and now I'm thinking my memory is fucked up. So, but
I have a couple questions on how you ended up where
me
you ended up.
too. Me
Absolutely no
too.
judgment,
I
though.
did write my notes at like midnight after like a
Okay,
midterm. So
right.
my brain was on
I
overdrive.
just chalk it up to like your artistic interpretation. I think the way you
Yes.
so eloquently describe things in your own flavor,
That's sweet.
it makes sense. The way, like, I see the lens through which you saw what happened.
Thank you. I did write down the
Vaguely.
spicy moments in the chapters. I did make note of that. I
Yeah.
didn't write quotes. I didn't write key moments, but I did write down all the sexy chapters.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was chapters
Oh.
12, 17, 29, and 30, and 40. So those were all the sexy chapters to my recollection. Um, I remember I made a note: spicy mirror scene, shadow spicy scene, and sexy tension. So there's that. That's something I made a special note of.
Hmm.
Because I thought that the sexy moments in Phantasma were pretty iconic. So I was like, oh, how are you gonna follow that up? And in the situation, it was just different. And that was okay. Like and I like Phantasma and Enchantra on the same level. I don't personally compare them and think this was better than the other. I
Yeah.
think they stand separately.
Right.
Um, but I liked them both.
Yeah.
And I would even lie to you. I read this so long ago. I
Hmm.
don't actually remember how it ends. So if you want to finish it off, please do. Because
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
head, all I remember is like the final how she got out. I
Hmm.
don't actually like off the top of my head remember everything else.
Yeah, so Salem kind of catches her up as to what has happened, but she doesn't get her memory back. So like a month passes, and like I said, she's going to like this ice cream shop, and she bumps into Rowan. She doesn't know that it's him, but she kind of does that double take of like, hmm. And he picks up a ring and he's like, "Oh, did you drop this?" And even though it wasn't hers, she was like, "Yep." And she takes it and she puts it in her jewelry box. And then she forgets about it for a minute. And then she's like, "Actually, wait." And the minute she puts it on, she gets all of her memories back. Now, he had gone and done another little devil deal. I forget what he traded for it. But that was basically for her to get all of her memories back. But the rules were he had to give it to her and she had to agree to put it on out of like her own free will. So the minute she
Mm.
got all her memories back, she was like, "Oh my God, dude, I love you. I missed you." And they have a beautiful reunion. And then basically, um, because they had won the game, their mom got another year of the cure, and then they're still trying to find it. The good news is that because she got all of her memories back, that included her being in Knox's treasure trove, which was where he admitted he had actually created the curse and also had the cure. So that is kind of helping their journey. So that's where it leaves off. I believe there was kind of like it alluded to that there would be another one.
I do remember it ending on a cliffhanger because I thought that this was a not a duology, a trilogy.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that.
Uh,
Don't quote me
no,
on
I
that.
believe when I went on Goodreads, they had, if my computer would load. So if you go
That's a
on
choice.
Goodreads, there is a Wicked Games #3. There is no cover photo for it, and there is no like information on it as of yet.
I would read an entire book about Ellen. Like I would read an entire book about
Oh,
her. Or if like Umbra
yeah.
was really like a person who was
Mhm.
trapped as a fox, I will read that.
Yes. Oh my
Like
gosh, all the pets, the
that
pet,
would be
pet
really fucking
POV.
cool. Yeah, like what
Yeah.
if all of the like entities in this book that were like companions were
Yeah.
really like people, and
Yes.
like that was part of the deal for them, was that they remain in this form, but that's not really what they
Right.
are.
Yeah.
Like I said, and maybe that's what I did. Maybe
That'd
I
be
read the
fun.
book and I was like, I'm not satisfied, so
Halfway
I
through, you're
wrote
just
something
making up your
else.
own. You were like, right. No,
I
that makes sense.
did,
That
I
makes sense.
did, and
I love it.
maybe I
I'm
will
happy.
say that. Yeah,
I'm happy we both got to share our versions of this
we
book.
did. We had two different versions, and
Yeah.
I will say this: next time we do an episode together, I will try to read the book closer to when we record, so that
That's
I can
fair.
actually recall.
Yeah.
This year has been a year, and
Yeah.
like everyone who has listened to your podcast, I'm sending you all so much love because
Oh.
everything is so busy and the world is so
Yes.
chaotic and
Yeah.
scary, and like busy reading romantasy is a
Yeah.
safe place
Oh, thank
and
you.
it's a cozy place.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
Beautiful.
happy to be here. I'm so grateful you had me on.
I'm happy to have you. And if it wasn't you, it would have been me that read it like a few months ago and was like, I don't remember any of this.
We're gonna
Um,
roll the dice, kids. We're gonna
I
roll the
like the
dice.
fun twist where I was like, I don't remember any. Yeah, because I made it up.
I totally fabricated this somewhat. Also, this is the first time I've ever done an episode about a book that I didn't write down the quotes. That's how I know. Like I
Oh,
was kind of like
yeah.
reading
That's
this really
fair.
quickly because
That's
I
fair.
usually write the quotes down, but I didn't this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
not usually my thing.
All
So
fair. All fair. It's like you said, it's been a year. There's always outside factors. I think that's something that I have not heard talked about enough is how much outside life can also affect our ability to enjoy a book and to sit
agreed,
and read. Like if you have a lot of stuff going on, again, you can just perceive things differently depending on where you're at in life. So, but
100%.
regardless of all of that, Alyssa, it's so great to catch up with you as always. Can you let everyone know all of your information will be down in the description, but like give a little shout out. What are you working on? What are you looking forward to as this year closes
Yeah,
out? Well, I
I
guess
can definitely do
as
that.
we're okay for context. I'll put this in the intro. For context, we're filming this in November. This is probably going to come out sometime in January.
Sure.
We're just having fun and going with the flow. So,
We are. Okay, so my name's Alyssa. I am the host of Stories and Spoilers, the podcast. I did pick a title that's a little bit of a tongue twister, which is bad because your girl's got a lisp and a speech impediment, but we pushed through. And I am interviewing some really cool horror, romance, and thriller authors coming to 2026. I'm hoping to interview Rachel Harrison, the author of Cackle and Play Nice. I'm hoping to interview Erin E. Adams about her new upcoming suspense from 2027. I have a lot of books that I have coming up that I wanted to talk to the authors about why they wrote them and their inspiration. And I'm really loving horror and I'm loving dark romance. So I'm hoping to have more author interviews with that. A lot of my episodes that are about books are first 5 to 10 minutes are non-spoiler, and then the rest of the episode is a spoiler talk. I also do bookish confessions, which is when people on Instagram DM me their unpopular opinions, books that think that deserve more love and support, and I just share those either anonymously or with their permission with their Instagram names. And I do book talks, and I have Kalissa on sometimes, and it's just a really cozy, chill space. And believe it or not, I do actually do deep dives into books, and they are usually accurate. So there's that. But you caught me on an off day. But yeah, there also is a romantasy that's coming out in 2026. I love Kimberly Lemming books. She wrote the Mead Mishaps, That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, those books. So she's a new one coming out next year, and it's called like That Time I Got Drunk, or That Time I got drunk and like punched an alien, and now we're in marriage counseling. So that's coming out next year.
Fun.
And I'm super excited to read that. So that's kind of the energy of my podcast.
Yeah.
It's all things books all the time.
Very
So,
cool. I highly
yeah,
recommend it. You have
100%.
amazing energy.
Thank
You're
you.
like sunshine and the ultimate friend that just like builds everyone else up so much. All the support and love. So you can add that to your next episode. That my
So
unpopular
sweet.
opinion is that I'm not sold on shadow sex. I don't think.
You said, where are his real hands?
Yeah. Anyways.
Heard. I can always add that to a bookish confession episode.
Yeah. Fun in
But
theory,
yes.
but I don't know.
You know, it is totally okay.
If
I
anyone
hear you.
would like to wield their shadow services and change my mind, please step
Any
forward.
magical beings out there?
You can email me at busyreadingromantasy at gmail.com.
Flirt with her via email, guys. It's not too
Please.
late. You've Got Mail was charming.
Not
It was.
too late.
So
Yeah.
thank you so much for having me, Alyssa. I'm so happy to be here.
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for listening and or watching this episode. If you stuck around this long, I'm going to assume you enjoyed it, so be sure you are following or subscribing so you can see when new episodes come out. I am most active on Instagram at Busy Reading Romantasy, so say hi to me over there.